All right, YouTube back again here, still January 19th. Actually, it might be the 20th now. I think we just passed midnight. Um, so it's an early Sunday morning. And as I always do when I have a new layout mostly done, this one's probably 99%. I still haven't quite finished the river. Need to clean it up now. It's kind of messy. But I will do that now that this one is pretty much done. But every time I finish one of these, I just want to go through and just kind of test it out by seeing how cars look on it. So that's what this run of videos is basically. So in this video, we just have a few Auto World cars. Starting with this one here, which is outside of the Cadillacs, my favorite Auto World tooling. I really like this Mach 1 Mustang. To the point where I try to get all of them. I know there's a couple that I'm missing. Actually, there's quite a few that I'm missing. I have I don't know, 6 or 7 of them, and I'm missing at least 6 or 7. But it's just an awesome car. I don't know that I can say that anything was missed on this Mach 1 Mustang. Pretty sure they covered the basis on it, which usually they do. Anyway, so there's that. The Roadrunner. There was a point in time where this was my favorite Auto World casting. I think that might have had more to do with the rarity of those first two, the red one and the gunmetal. It caused them to be very valuable, and I think that was some of the allure of the casting for me. I still like it a lot, but it's not nearly as nice of a casting as that or the Cadillacs. It is a really cool casting though. Probably my favorite Roadrunner casting, although I really do like the Greenlight 1970 casting. I also like the Greenlight 68.5 casting. But there's that. This 1970 Impala is a bitchin' ride here. Just a big old boat. Big old two-door land yacht. Excellent detail. It's a really cool color. Really cool metallic blue with the black vinyl top. One of the things I really like a lot about Auto World is the fact that they don't use a lot of extra pieces. So you're not going to have a bumper fall off. You're not going to have little trim pieces falling off. They're not going to have lens, headlight, and taillights falling off, but I would rather have those with the risk of them falling off than not have them. But if you're not going to do lensed headlight and taillight detail, at least this is about as good a job as you can do without having them. So I have to respect that. This is a brand that I have great respect for as far as the quality of their castings and the artistic replication of their castings. Where I don't have respect for Auto World is with their ambition. their lack of desire to grow. This is another bitchin' car here. Of course, I had to get a couple silver cars out. Silver is my favorite color for 1 to 64 scale cars. Here's the Gulf Ford GT40. This is the first release of it. This one was some kind of hobby exclusive. I think they're just now bringing this back out in one of their 6-car standard releases. But I'm sure there will be things different between the two cars. They also released one that was this colorway, but didn't have the Gulf badging. They didn't have the licensing on it, so it's similar to this, but still kind of different. And that one, I believe, did come out in one of their regular releases. My landlord has a 2005 Ford GT. I wonder if he'll take me for a spin. He has a couple of nice cars, actually. He has a couple of dream cars. 3 of them that I know about. Okay, two of the 3 would be considered exotics. And actually, the Corvette might be. You know, Corvettes, that is the closest America has ever come to a Ferrari outside of the Ford GT. But yeah, here's a Eldorado. Beautiful casting, which goes without saying with Auto World. It's a bit redundant because that statement pretty much applies for all of these. So I had someone asking about the tarp, about the process and the material. I know I mentioned it on a previous video, but it's just blue construction paper. And by the way, I wouldn't recommend it. Like, that's not how I'm going to make my tarps. So, but as far as, like, once you find the right paper to use, then what you do is you just soak it in a glue water mixture, and then you form it over the car. And then what I did is once it dried a little bit, I coated it again with some gloss Mod Podge. All right, here we have the DeVille, which is my favorite Auto World casting. Unquestionably my number 1. And then the DeVille is this is the DeVille. The Eldorado is my 1A. So we have 1 and 1A, and then number 2 is the Mach 1. So those are my top 2 castings. You get 3 cars out of it. It's a 3 for 2 bargain. But the DeVille, to me, this is one of the nicest 1 to 64 scale. Not just nicest. I think probably a better way to articulate it is, to me, this is one of the coolest 1 to 64 scale cars ever produced. Certainly by domestic brands. But even on a global level, I think you could take the best of the Tomica Limited Vintage, the best of the Kyosho, and for me, this one would be right up there in that discussion. I don't think there's a single Greenlight casting for me that would make that discussion. As much as I love Greenlight, They just don't have one casting that you look at and you're just like in awe of how nice it is. Like, this is such a nice miniature replica. You know, the whole idea with Tomica Limited Vintage is that if you take pictures of it and you don't have a scale reference or a perception reference, that they look like that it looks like a real car. And this casting right here, to me, is the closest that any domestic brand has gotten to that. You know, I like the Ertl Vintage American Muscle, but none of them look this good. None of them look this realistic. Such a cool car. And so that only leaves one more now, doesn't it? So a couple videos ago, I had the blue one out. Now we have the tuxedo. I like the blue one and the mustard yellow. Those are my two favorite. But outside of those two, this is my favorite Dodge Dart. They've done some really nice colors on this car too. Mopar. Mopar or no car. And I think part of why this one looks so good is because of those wheels. I want to see the Mach 1 come out with those wheels. I think it would look better. I wouldn't mind seeing a Trans Am come out with those wheels. I definitely want to see a Roadrunner with those wheels. These are the worst wheels and tires that Auto World has made right here. They do not look good, in my opinion. These ones look good. These ones look great. Those look good for what, you know, for what they are. Those look really good, in my opinion. It's a very hard wheel to replicate. The Cadillac wheels look good, in my opinion. Those are hubcaps. And same thing with this. I wish that there was a little bit more detail, like more shadowing between the spokes. But I know that can be hard to do. That's a good shot right there. It's a really good angle. All right, everyone. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. And listen, I have an early week appointment scheduled at the Toy Pimp's house. So stay tuned. See what happens. And as always, thank you for watching. Oh, look at that. Cool looking Bronco. But see, when you look at these Broncos close up on a nice diorama, they don't look all that good. It's a real bummer. They just don't, they're just not very good replicas. And I really can't put my finger on why. Because I like the way they look. It just doesn't look real. You know, these other cars look really good. And then you have this and it just, you know, these cars might sell you on the scene. They might sell you on the fact that, okay, that scene looks good. That's a good miniature scene. You know, if you looked at it out of your peripheral, or if you looked at it, at a distance, you might not be able to tell, but it's like putting a Hot Wheels in it. You can tell right away, and that's kind of how I feel about this. Because I don't feel that way about any other one of these cars. But, alright, well, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Hopefully tomorrow the Patriots lose. And I'll talk to y'all later.